Hello, everyone. So today is Wednesday the 8th. Does that sound right? The ninth. Okay. The ninth of April 2025. And well, let's just say they're having some technical difficulties at work. So I was let out early today with pay. And they're saying we're going to be out of work tomorrow, too. So there's that. But yeah, so kind of some crazy, crazy stuff there. Oh, by the way, this is Dell. Into the Dell with Gale. So, yeah, but crazy stuff at work. But nevertheless, despite all of that, Angela and I are making some good leeway. Or I think Angela is more than I am. Her and her mom are making good leeway towards planning our weddings. So there's that. Um, things are coming together. We're getting excited. It's a year away. So there's that. Um, and yeah, things aren't looking too bad, all in all. So get into it first. Our nerd stuff. So talking about Daredevil, Born Again, the new episode. Um, it was different. It was definitely different. I don't know. The only thing is, I might have to go back and rewatch the episode a little bit because I don't know if Daredevil helped. He was seeing an inmate about something. That part I didn't catch exactly, so I may have to go back and because Angela and I were making some plans while that show was on the air, and but from what I gathered of it anyway, like I just don't know if he helped that guy out on purpose or if that was totally by accident because he slammed the inmate's head into the table a couple of times, um, and then that inmate looks back at, of course, that's that uh, but at that moment in time, I mean, Daredevil is as his alias, he's the lawyer. But anyway, he smashes that inmate's head into the table. The inmate then looks back and says, "Thank you, thank you, Mister Lawyer, or whatever." And that's where he tells the inmate to go fuck himself. But the inmate then is able to escape. There was something in his teeth, and he spit it out the officers and made his getaway that way, made an escape. He then ends up the same party uh, that everybody seems to be at, and Daredevil gets away with. He's talking to a guy who's Daredevil, but anyway, he's talking to the mayor's or Kingpin's ex-wife. While that's going on, Kingpin is talking to Daredevil's new girlfriend, who's the psychiatrist, right? So everybody seems to know that he's Daredevil except for the new girlfriend. Um, so they all seem to be talking and saying. So, like, basically, Kingpin is talking in riddles to the girlfriend while Daredevil is trying to find out information from that guy's wife, because she has somebody killed and he knows about it. Well, anyway, long story short, this inmate that escaped inmate happens to show up at that same party that they're at, and he's a sniper now. He's got Kingpin in his sights. He's ready to kill Kingpin, and basically the lawyer, Daredevil, as the lawyer, he saves the day by jumping in front of the bullet, and that's where it pretty much ends, with him on the ground and his girlfriend over the top of him, while Kingpin is looking back in shock and disbelief, as well as his ex-wife, as they look up while they're looking up at the sniper. So that's, like I said, that's pretty much where it ends. So it ends on a cliffhanger. Good episode. I cannot wait to see next week's episode. That just that whole series right now just seems to me like it keeps getting better and better. The build up is really good on that. So I'm already looking forward to see what they do next. But yeah, all right, getting into it now. I guess we gotta get the questions of the day in. So, especially since I didn't do a video yesterday. So here we go. Questions of the day. All right, so see what we got here for April. All right, so first, what? Since I missed yesterday's question, so we got it. So, what is something you did that you said you never do? Oh, I think I already answered that one. Angel said we're on the 8th and 9th, I think. So, all right. Since I already did that one, because I did that one last night. Or the other night. I do remember that one. Last promise that you broke. I don't remember, to be honest. I know there's a promise that I made initially. There's some promises that I made initially with Joni sometimes in the past, like when we were kids or whatever. And excuse me, it was basically a promise to take her. Excuse me. From time to time, I make a promise to take her out somewhere or something, And every now and then there would be a time conflict that would come up. And I told her, I said, I don't really want to break my promise because, it's a promise. But I said, unfortunately, I'm being forced to. It's work related. I got to do it. I don't want to do it, but I got to keep my job. So I got to go. She understood. So I would say one of those promises would probably be my last one that I broke. Even though I hate to break those. I hate to break those kind of promises, but when it comes to work says you gotta go, you gotta go. At the time, I believe I worked at Walmart, but every now and then there would be a time conflict that would come up for whatever reason. I'd have to tell her, like, I'm sorry, but unfortunately. I think one time it was when I worked at one of the factories, too, though. He's like, sorry, but unfortunately the factory says they need me. I gotta go. I don't want to go. It's supposed to be my day off, but I gotta do it. So she understood. I mean, it's work related. It's not like I wanted to break my promise. It was, something that was unforeseen. So, but that was the last time I broke one. So it's been a while. What is something that haunts you? Something that haunts me. Right now, the one thing that still haunts me, and I'm trying to fix that, is that I'm a really good writer. I can write fiction really well, and I still have not got a book published yet. That still haunts me, and I'm hoping to get that fixed by the end of the year. It's my goal. So That, and then the other thing that still haunts me right now is the fact that, I mean, right now we're house looking and we still haven't found another house yet. So that still haunts me too, and I'm hoping to right that wrong. Well, we are, but we get those two things done. Hey, we're golden, right? So we're working on them. Working on them. But anyway, that's all the questions in the black book. So now let's go on to the other questions. Let's see what we got here. And the Missouri Day of History. I'm sorry about those coughs a while ago. I think I had is almost tasted like I swallowed a bug there for a second. Maybe I did. It is spring, so there's a possibility. Being a parent. Natively long hair. Stay-at-home mother, CIA agent, tornado, favorite season, have you hypnotized, cartoons, motivation football, best thing about your life. Wait a minute, that might be it. Yeah, I think we're here. Who's someone you'd like to trade places with for a day? If I could trade places with somebody, who would I trade places with? That's a good question. Trade places with for a day. Probably somebody famous. Some famous guy just for a day. I think I'd do that. Travis Kelsey. I trade places for Travis Kelsey for a day. I mean, hey, he's even dating Taylor Swift, so I do that for just a day. I do that for a day. That or whoever is dating or married to Scarlett Johansson, I trade places with him for a day. Because, I mean, that's Scarlett Johansson. So whoever is dating or married to her I trade places with them for a day. Gladly. See what she's like. Maybe that way I know, like, yeah, she's complete. Or she might be really cool, and then I might want a longer contract. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I love Angela, but I mean, come on, that's Scarlett Johansson. I'm just saying. How open-minded are you? I'd say fairly open-minded. I always try to keep an open mind about a lot of things. I think that's why I'm a creative person, is because I'm open-minded. I think most creative people have to be open-minded, so about the world in general. So I consider myself very open-minded. Are you any good at burlap sack races? I have no idea. I've never done sack races, so no idea. What's the meanest thing you've said to someone? Um, Told them to go fuck off. I think that's the meanest I've ever done. Is basically tell them to go f themselves. Uh, which would be impossible for you to give up for the rest of your life? Soda or coffee? Both. Both soda and coffee because I love Mountain Dew And I love my coffee in the morning. So it would be hard for both. I'm going to say impossible for both. Even if the doctor tells me, like, yeah, you can't have those anymore, I'm like, that's where I'd be like looking at the doctor and say, F you, I am going to have them every day. I don't care. If they kill me, they kill me, but I'm having them. How ambitious are you? Very ambitious. I'm, I'm always willing to try new things. So in that regard, I am very ambitious. Do you think opposites attract? Not really. We see it all the time, happens in TV shows and movies, but they're TV shows and movies for a reason. I don't see that happening in real life. More that I see is more similarities attract than opposites. I mean, even most dating sites are looking for people that are similar to each other instead of opposite from each other. So to say opposites attract, I'm like, no. If anything, they might attract for a temporary relationship, but for a strong relationship, it's going to last the test of time, or at least for a long time. Well, let's just say for the test of time. I like that. But anyway, a relationship that's going to last, it's the whole opposites attract thing is caca. What is the best thing about your life? My best thing about my life? My fiance. I'm just going to say that at the moment. My fiance. And that is all I got for y'all for the questions of the day. So now let's get into Missouri Day of History. And then that is a wrap, Jack. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need you to try right now. But I think we're good on everything. As far as I know, I think I tried everything that I meant to. I know there's new Mountain Dew coming out soon, so I'm going to keep on the lookout for that. Some type of tropical Mountain Dew. So I am going to keep my eyes and ears open for it, but at the moment, that's all I know. Alright, so now getting into May. Or, no, not May, but April. Alright, so April the 8th and April the 9th. First, April the 8th, we're going all the way back to 1969, where the Kansas City Royals play their first game ever. The Kansas City Royals have been left without Kansas City have been left without a team for 2 years after the Athletics, they went to Oakland in 1967. And it was time for a spring renewal as a city had a team to root for again. The Royals took their name from the world famous American Royal Livestock Show and barbecue competition that is held annually in Kansas City. So that's where the name Royals came from. It's from the Kansas City Royal. And it was also the name of the two Negro League teams, the Royals. Although I know one of the Negro League teams is also the Monarchs, Kansas City Monarchs, but that's another story. The team played in the old Municipal Stadium until Royal Stadium was ready in 1973. The name was changed later to Kauffman Stadium in 1993 in honor of founder Ewan Kauffman. I'm sorry. I can't talk very good, so I'm leaving that as my excuse. But Ewan Kauffman is why the stadium is now called Kauffman Stadium instead of Royal Stadium. I've always known it as Kaufman, but that's probably because my memory goes all the way back to 93, even though I was born in 86. But there you go. All right. That's some cool information about the Royals. I wish they would have told us who they were playing against, though. Since they had the first game ever, it would have been nice to know who they were playing that day and where it was at. But it's still cool to know that that was the first game. I could probably look it up after this is over and find out. If I do, I'll probably put it in tomorrow's thing. So, now going back, so April the 9th, we go all the way back to 1917, and let's see here. The Missouri State Park Fund was created to develop the Missouri State Parks in 1917. 1 year after the National Park System was established in 1916, the state of Missouri put a funding mechanism in place to preserve designated areas of land and transform them into public spaces. The first piece of property bought was the J. Houston Tavern in Arrow Rock 6 years later. The first piece of land established as a state park was the Big Spring State Park near Van Buren. There are now 91 state parks along the Katy Trail, which is the longest rails-to-rails project in the United States history. That's really cool. And I know on our vacation, Angela and I are going to be visiting a couple of those parks upcoming in May. Well, not only parks, but museums that are owned by the state. I don't know if that counts or not, but yeah. Some museums up there around St. Joe, and then also going to Bothwell Lodge in Sedalia. So that's in our plans for vacation. I just gotta call them tomorrow and the lodge and see about getting a tour. But there's that. Oh, and by the way, the Bothwell Lodge is supposedly haunted too. So throwing that out there. So maybe we'll bring K2s with us or something while we're taking that tour. You know, it's a day tour. Still, maybe we'll see something or hear something. Who knows? But there's that. So that's all I got for y'all for the Missouri State of History. And that's all I got for this video. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Peace out. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye for now.